Hi, this is Candace with KNC Lodge. I'm here to do a tutorial for the pockets that we will use on Your Paper Pantry's May swap for the Junk Mini page. So the birthday book will have a 6x8 page with using a file folder, and we're also giving you the opportunity to use a cardstock as well to make your pockets. So I just wanted to give you 3 examples of how you can make these pockets. I've cut a file folder into 2 6x8 pieces, and I left the file tab on here. So this one's actually 6.5 by 8. So when you cut it, the smallest portion is the 6x8. Okay, so then I've cut 2 pieces that are 1x8, and I've scored them down the middle at the 1/2 inch, 1x6 rather. This should say 6. Sorry. And I've scored them down the middle. And if you don't have a score pal, you can use a pen. Just make sure that you use it on the opposite side of the portion that you want to use. Okay, so pretty much I'm just going to use some of this glue, and I think when I actually make my actual pockets I may use a different glue than this. I may use something that's maybe even a small thin line of glossy accents or something a little bit stronger. I don't always have the best of luck with these glues. If someone has a recommendation of a glue that works and is very permanent, then I would love to hear of that. So as you can see, I'm just taping it right to the edge. And then I'm going to glue this side to the other side of that and line that up as best as I can. Now this edge here will be the side that goes into the binder. So this side is going to have the binder holes put in it and the binder. So I am going to just glue that together right at the edge. And then I'm also going to glue this other piece on the same way. Fold that. I'm doing this quickly so it may not line up perfectly, but so now you've got this pocket. So here's the first way that you can get a pocket, and again this side going into the binder is going to have holes punched in it, and the binder rings or however it's bound, the lace or ribbon will go inside there. So there's a pocket for the one side, on the side. So now I'm going to show you a different technique, and basically I'm just using 2 pieces, and again I have one that is 6x8, and then here's the extra 1/2 inch here. And then I've got one here that is 6.5 by 8.5, and I've scored it at the 1/2 inch line on both sides. Now I'm going to cut off this little corner piece so that we can fold it up. And then this one will end up with the pocket at the top, with the hole of the pocket at the top. So I'm going to go ahead and fold this. And glue. And then this will go I will line this up. You could put I think you could put the tab in the front or in the back, whichever way you want to do it, but because of the way I had scored this, I ended up putting this one in the back. And again, I'm going to want to glue this side, which will be going into the binder I'm just going to glue that together. I'm trying to do this quickly for you, so it's not perfect, but okay, so there you've got a nice tabbed page that will go into with the pocket on the top. Okay, now the third thing that you could do is, which is probably what I'm going to do for this swap, I haven't really decided, is use a 12 by 12 sheet. And what you'll want to do is when you find a piece of the paper that you want to use, you want to make sure to work on the back of it when you're scoring and making lines and things like that. So this is just going to be a 12 by 12 piece, and I'm going to cut it to 8.5 by 12. But I also want to score it at the 8-inch mark so that I'll be able to work on that. So first I want to mark this, and I'm working on the back here at the 8-inch mark. And like I said, if you don't have a score pal, you can just go ahead and use a pen. I do have a score pal, but I just want to demonstrate that a pen works well as long as you're working on the back side. So there we go. We'll just score up like that. And now I want to cut this off so that you'll have a 1/2 inch here. So I'm going to cut this off at the 8.5 inch mark. There we go. And then I want to score it down the middle so that it folds nicely. So this time I think I'll just go ahead and use my score pal since I do have one. And right down at the 6-inch mark. So what you end up with is a 6 by 8 piece of cardstock. And you don't want to use thin paper, craft paper for this. You want to make sure that you use a heavy cardstock because this is supposed to be like a pocket for this book. So at this point I'm going to trim off one section of this little 1/2 inch section. And I don't cut very straight lines, so I'm going to go ahead and use my Fiskars. And I'm just cutting off half of this, and it doesn't matter which half you cut off. So now I have a nice folded over, and I'm just going to go ahead and again with the glue right here, and now I'll have a nice pocket. And again, you can glue this side together, which will go against the binding. Now because this doesn't have a tab, you're going to have to add a tab to this, and a lot of people might have one of these punches or a die that you can cut tabs with. If you don't have that, then try using a 2 by 2 piece of paper and fold it in half. So this is just a 2 by 2, fold it in half, and then after I fold it in half, I have a corner rounder. So I put this through the corner rounder, and then I can attach this on here, right here, and let it stick out about a 1/2 inch. So anywhere along here to go into the book. And I will put the glue on both sides and try to make this as even or as straight as possible. So now I have 3 different pockets that I can use for this project. and they're all the same size. So there you go. I hope you guys join, and I'll see you over at Your Paper Pantry.